We've got one last K-swapped episode for you guys here at Toronto Motorsports Park, and that is to find out how it compares to an ND2. And not just any stock ND2 either. This one obviously has some tasty mods on it, so let's get down to business. The reason we've decided to compare these two Miatas is really about the numbers. You can spend $40,000 pretty quickly and easily on a nice ND2 with some tasty mods on it like John's car has here. And that is exactly what we spent building our K-Swap Miata, including all the other mods on it, not just the K-Swap. If you want to see a full breakdown of the cost on that car, we have an episode on that for you. And as for John's ND2, as you can see, it is on a beautiful set of Volks, and he has gone with Advan AO52 tires, a very sticky tread wear, 200 tread wear tire, but he's only in a 225. He hasn't gone crazy on size. You can fit more tire on these chassis, but he wanted to keep it gentlemanly. You know, he didn't want to have to tear up his beautiful brand new fenders and stuff like that. He's got the factory Brembos on there with a Hawk DTC 30, and he's got Olean's road and track coilovers on there, giving you this nice ride height, and we'll see how it takes the curbs out here on the racetrack in a moment. Under the hood is this sweet little 2-liter Skyactiv motor, and he has obviously added this nice strut tower bar, but he's also done skunk 2 headers, a BMC panel filter, and a 2.5-inch Remark exhaust system, and a tune. And although it hasn't been on the dyno, John figures it's making around 180 at the wheels. Now is my favorite part of the video, where I get to take both of these cars out and turn a hot lap in them and see how they do for lap times. And then after that, we're gonna do roll races to show you the speed differential in a straight line. All right, guys, this is exciting. I've driven a bunch of NDs, including a Cup car back in the day, really in the early Speed Academy days. You can go way back in our archives and see that. But I've never driven like a nicely track prepped one like this before. So really excited to see how it performs compared to our K-swapped NC. It does feel like a much more modern car inside. It's, you know, feels like it's a generation newer, which of course it is. And I'm really curious to see, you know, how the grip and balance feels on these 225s. Holy, immediate steering feel. My God, it's got really fast steering compared to the NC. And the stiff sidewall of these AO52s just make it turn like instantaneously. It feels a little twitchy on the brakes there, but wow, it feels really sticky, guys, and well balanced. This car is going to be fast. I'm not in a great seating position because I'm a little too tall for the RF, but John was telling me there is a seat rail fix for that, so you tall boys can fit in, and I'm not that tall. I'm just tall in the torso, but wow, this car is grippy, and this Skyactiv engine is pretty spicy. Like, it feels very happy and willing to rev, very responsive throttle. You can just slide it around these tight corners. This thing is dialed, man. It is absolutely dialed. John has done a great job with this thing. Like, this just is immediately a confidence-inspiring setup. Wow, this thing is good, guys. It's gonna be close. I did not expect this car to feel this good on a relatively narrow tire. Getting a little ABS there, but oh yeah, we're getting a little slide there, but it feels very well balanced. I could have been a little more aggressive with the throttle there, but I'm just learning the characteristics of this car here, and it feels good. And wow, those Hawks have got some bite. I got a little spicy, but it's a Miata. That's what it does. It does want to keep you on your toes. So good. I kind of need to go to third there a little earlier than I did, but we're learning here, folks. We're learning. Just hanging on the edge of Petitian there. What a great little car. Just sliding it into the direction I want. This is such a well-balanced car. I just wanted to slide there a little bit, which is not really where you want to be sliding it, but
It's so well balanced, like you can just drift it onto the front straight. So good.
Wow, this thing caught me unaware. I didn't expect it to be that much fun or that good, but man, this thing is dialed in really well. Kudos to John for getting this car really well sorted, because it was perfectly well balanced around here, as you saw from the in-car. Like, it would go into these beautiful, shallow little slides wherever I wanted it to, super easy to catch. The steering is really quick. It kind of caught me out at first how quick the steering is, and I think part of that is a narrower tire than I'm used to and a very stiff sidewall, so it just immediately grips. With like, the grip across the front axle on this car is phenomenal, leagues ahead of our NC in terms of front end grip, and it's properly quick around here. The gearing matches up really well. I love the seating position. Yes, my head is just touching the RF, but you sit low and you feel very connected to it. The ergonomics of it are excellent. It just feels like an evolution of the NC. It feels like a generation newer car, and it really delivers great performance and all of the fun you want from a Miata. So what a compelling little package. Not going to tell you the lap time yet. First, we're going to jump in the NC. You've seen me turn 1,000,000 laps in that car by now, but we'll give you one lap in that, and then we'll talk more about the performance.
And welcome to the friendly confines of our K-swapped NC. God, I love this little car. It's just such a riot, and I'll give you a quick recap of it for those of you who haven't watched the build series. This started life as an NC1 that we had updated to NC3 fascias, and then of course we did the K24 swap with our homies from K-Power Industries. If you want to buy this K-swap kit in Canada, we're actually selling it, so link in the description for that. And of course we've done all of the other usual track mods, so we've got Annex Club Spec Pro coilovers on here, which work amazingly around this track. We've got Continental Extreme Contact Force 200 treadwear tires in a 245/17 on the new Koenig forged F3S wheels in a 17/9 plus 40 offset. And you know, we've done the carbon Miata lips and spoilers, and we've got all the hard race arms on there for reduced compliance in the bushings and for camber and toe adjustability. It's got all the good stuff, guys. It's got this DG Motorsports hardtop Buddy Club seats on PCI seat rails, and these race equip harnesses hold me in snug. I should probably tighten them down a little bit more here. And I think that is a decent recap of the car. If you go to our dyno tuning episode, it made 215 at the wheel, so it does have a power advantage over the ND. And curb weight wise, they should be very similar. I would say they're both around 2,400 pounds. So let me just put a little more heat in the tires here, a little more heat in my brain, and see how the old Kia Miata does. Brakes into turn one here, back on the gas early, and that's not bad. You can hear we do have some tire rub happening in the back, but let's pretend that that's not happening. As you can see, we are in third gear for a very long time. A little understeer there, just because I overcooked the entry, but you can see I can get the rear end to rotate on power quite easily. I kind of blew that. I'm making a mess of this lap, guys.
There you have it, a couple of hot laps in the Kia Miata, and what a riot this thing is. It is so raw, it is so racy, it's really on the knife's edge around there the whole time, and it's just so much fun wringing this motor out. A K24 is such a special engine, it really is sort of the predominant characteristic of this car now. It really does give it a whole new personality, and as far as lap times go, well, it did come out on top today. It did a 121.1 versus a 122.8 in the ND2. And I do feel like the ND2 is just a wider set of tires away from going a second faster and really giving this car a run for its money. So with all that said, let's jump to the roll races.
All right, guys, as we usually do, we're going to do roll races on the front straight here at TMP, and Pete is in the K-swapped NC. I'm in the ND2 here, and I'm going to set the pace up to this first pylon, and then we're going to let it rip. So, got the thumbs up from PT. Let's do this. I should have gone to second gear at the start. I shouldn't have started in first gear, but you can see him pulling away from me. But it's not like a horrendous gap. It's 4 or 5 car lengths there, I would say.
I'm gonna go to second gear here, kind of low on the RPM range, and go. We are goners, baby. Goners.
You ready to go? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna go to second here. Look at that, we're much better off here. You know, he's pulling a couple of car lengths at the end of this front straight there, but it is not a drubbing. I do not feel shame. I am not going to be put in the horsepower penalty box. This ND2 holds its own pretty well against the K-swapped NC.
Second gear, let's see, we'll give him a little bit of a head start. And we still, the longer gearing really pulls this car ahead, and then the top end walks it. But it actually, once it starts picking up, man, that 2-liter motor there is no slouch. Combined with the gearing, certainly moves nicely.
Well, that went as expected, but I'm actually really impressed by the ND2. On that second run where I used second gear off the launch instead of first and therefore didn't have to do an extra shift, it was pretty close. It hung pretty tight through second and part of third, and the K car would creep ahead and maybe was 2 or 3 car lengths ahead at the end of the front straight, but it didn't take me to Gapplebee's as bad as I thought it would, and I continue to be impressed by this ND2. So much so, in fact, we got a little surprise for you here. We're going to put it up against a 2.5 swapped NC.
Well, here's a bit of a treat. The old 2.5-liter swapped NC Miata here. We want to see what it looks like and how it does against the ND. So let's see how this goes here. We are ready and go. Oh! Oh, baby! It's so close. It's like neck to neck. It is neck to neck.
Wow, these things are neck and neck. Wow, that is a very close match. A very close match. The 2.5 car did pull ahead of me a little bit, but then I seemed to reel him in at the end with a little bit more RPM.
Let's see this. Maybe this time DP will not hit a rev limiter. You can see we are perfect. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. These cars are like neck to neck. Holy smokes. Oh.
Went in first gear there. I don't know if I'm better off to go in second, but I think I got a bit of a better launch there. Oh yeah, God, they are neck and neck. Look at this. Wow. That is amazingly close. What a good match. Well, that gives you guys a really good estimate of like what a 2.5 swapped NC is like in a straight line versus like a bolt-on ND. So ND2 I should specify, of course, but still interesting to see that they're so well matched.
Wow, guys, what an amazingly even matchup those two cars were, and what a fun way to explore the different ways you can spend your hard-earned dollars on the fun that Miatas provide. Let us know in the comments below which car you like best. Are you the bargain hunter with the 2.5 swap, Do you want the more modern, sophisticated ND2 experience, or do you want the rawness and those high RPM horsepower that the K-swapped NC delivers? Personally, I love them all. I want to take them all home, but if I have to take home one, I'm going to go with the K-swapped NC because I'm a track guy and it is the most fun on the racetrack. But for a road car, wow, that ND2 does make a very compelling argument. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this Miata extravaganza. Now it's time to move on to building stuff with V8s and 2JZs, right, PT?